So you don't have to close your eyes, but just be in a comfortable position and be in the mood of kind of imagining. So it says here, envision a rock flying on high into the air. In order for the rock to move, it needs some kind of energy to propel it. As long as the energy is in the rock, it flies on high. But then when the energy is taken away, it goes back to its initial position on the ground. Consider the world in its initial state of inertia before creation. It was in a state of non-existence. There was nothing. And there needed to be some kind of a force propelling the world to go from nothing into something. Consider that the world before that force came into it was absolute nothingness. There was no up, no down, no right, no left. All there was an ever-pervading, all-inclusive emanation of godliness filling the space of nothingness. And that there was no up, no down, no right, no left, no past, no future. It's all because it was one with this godly emanation. Contrast this to our world, which has an up, has a down, a right, a left, many different fragments coming together. Nothing is really, maybe we could say, one. And these fragments, in a sense, we're continually trying to put them together. When they come into sync, things are good. And if not, life is difficult. Now wonder, did the world displace the oneness of God like a rock falling into a pond, and it would just push away the water that was there with the waves? Actually, no, it can't be, because we're talking about the oneness of God. God is constant whether there's a world or not. So how do we reconcile this? The answer is to understand the definition of essence. The essence of something is that it stands alone unto itself, and there's nothing else but the essence. The essence is beyond our human mind to comprehend. As soon as we even imagine what the essence is, it's not, because it's something completely beyond our intellect. The essence just is as it is on its own, alone, and there's nothing but the essence. In terms of the essence of God, that was what was emanating before creation. Standing alone unto itself, nothing exists but godliness. Before creation, it was an emanating spirituality, ever-pervading, infinitely expansive, all-inclusive. There was no right, no left, no up, no down. It was just one. But after the creation, essence is still emanating, but no longer spiritually, but rather physically, within the very physical world itself that we live in, as a godly force propelling the world to be. Should we tap into the godly force, then everything in the world that's right, left, up, down, people, places, will all become one. Then all the isolated but fragments will come together in the sense of there will be success with one, where success will come. To tap into this godly force that's propelling the world, one must get to the essence, and that means to get to your own essence. For that is where you stand just as you are by yourself, and there's nothing but you. Connecting to your essence means connecting to the essence of our existence. So first, we need to focus on our existence and come into the present moment. How do we focus on our existence? Nothing that came before, nothing that came after, just how we are presently in the moment. First, we should clear our mind and take a few deep breaths. Breathe in slowly. Push it out. Breathe in again. Push it out. And relax as we are in the moment. Allow yourself to settle in where you may be sitting. Be aware of your weight against the back of the chair, the way your body is, and settling your feet onto the ground. Feel how heavy your feet are on the floor. Feel like you're nothing but a living, breathing entity in time and space. And notice the parameters of the entity of yours, where your back stops, the back of the chair begins, the body of your weight settles, there exists this seat, and beneath that is the floor. Realize how you're not the only entity in the time and space. The floor exists as a non-living entity, non-breathing. The chair exists as its own entity, the table, but feel completely present, a present sense of your own being. Now to go to the essence of your being, an essence where you exist alone, standing unto yourself, in which there's nothing but you. For that is where the essence of God is, which exists standing alone unto godliness, in which there's nothing but God. To get there, we need to strip away our existence. Imagine if you couldn't see. Everything went black. Not that you enclosed their eyes and saw the back of their eyes, but you couldn't see a thing at all. And if the world was, you couldn't hear, the world was silent. Imagine a silence so thick you couldn't even hear yourself swallow. Now imagine you lost your sense of touch. You couldn't feel a thing. Couldn't feel your weight on the chair and your back. Imagine as if everything for yourself was light in terms of weight. Your feet, in a sense, were picking yourself off the floor. Imagine you were pulling yourself back and you were viewing everything in the room simply from yourself, without any of your senses and even your weight. What would you be left with? You'd be left with nothing but an awareness that you are. Now consider, you can't, just as you can't see and you can't hear and you have no weight, you feel nothing. Consider that the chair can't see, the chair can't hear, the floor can't see, and the table and the walls, all are objects. What's the difference between yourself in the moment, in the chair, in the floor, in the wall? You are just as you are. Now you get the feeling that it's not you or the chair or the walls, for everything is one, like before creation. There's no up, no down, no right, no left. Everything is one. But is it truly one? For after all, you know you are you. You know you exist as you are. Now that you feel the existence of you, you can now feel the godly force that's propelling you to be. You can feel the force propelling the floor to be a floor, the chair to be a chair, everything into the moment. And for now that you can feel the godly force propelling the present moment, and that is where you exist just as you are, standing alone unto yourself, engulfed in the essence that is propelling you to be as you are, and there is nothing else.